That being the case, I'm gonna go ahead and close the meeting. Close the open meeting. It is 7:03. All right, moving on to item 8. This is a consent agenda. This is the review of the June 13th, 2023 regular city council meeting. A copy of the packet. City council, this is an action item. I'm gonna call for a motion. We have a motion by Councilwoman Talamantes, a second by Councilwoman Trevino. Any questions? Hearing none, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Moving on to new business, item 9. All these are action items. 9A, discuss and consider ordinance number 20230702, authorizing the placement of a 16 by 72 97 manufactured home on the property located at West Ward of South Willow. This is the item we just discussed in our open session. This is an action item. I'm going to ask for a motion. Is there a motion? There's a motion by Councilwoman Hernandez. There's a second by Councilwoman Talamantes. With that, is there any questions, council? Hearing none, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council.
Moving on to item 9B, discuss and consider ordinance number 20230703, amending water, wastewater, and solid waste ordinances, increasing minimum rates and charges at the levels indicated at the rate table provided within this ordinance for all water, wastewater, solid waste customers, increased to automatically go into effect October 1st, 2023. This is an action item. I'm going to call for a motion. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Councilwoman Hernandez, second by Councilwoman A. Garza. With that, I'm going to turn the floor over to our city manager.
Yes, Mayor and Council, on page 15 of your packet, what you'll find is the ordinance, the beginning of the ordinance, basically that is paraphrased, but what you'll see on page 16 are the actual rates that are going to affect come 10/1/23. So you'll be able to see those rates jump from where we currently are to the rates that we on against come 10/1/23. That is year 5 rates. Those will be year 5 rates of our total plan, of a plan that we had that was adopted back in 2020. This is year 5 rates. Part of these rates have been built into the budget. So in essence, this is what we're requesting, and I think part of that discussion some months back was to, part of the increase was to pay for the debt for the Hard Rock building. So I just want to make sure we remind the council of that. So we're asking for your approval tonight for these rates, and again, they will take effect not today, but on 10/1/23.
Council, I think we've discussed this prior to. Is there any other questions for the city manager? If not, we have a motion and a second. I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Going on to item 6C, discuss and consider setting a date and time and place for a public hearing for the request for a conditional use permit for Juliet Willamaco, located at 1324 West Colorado. There is a recommendation by our city secretary, I think, for the next regular city council meeting. City secretary, you have the floor.
Good evening again. Is there any way we can decide on line C and D together? I'm sorry.
Yes, city council, we're going to go ahead and add item 9D, which this is the same, requesting a conditional use permit for Robert Maldonado, located at 402 South Apple. We haven't had a motion or a second yet, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and call for a motion for item 9C and 9D together. There's a first by Councilwoman R. Garza. There's a second by Councilwoman A. Garza.
Just a minor correction, Mayor, it's not 402, it's 420 South Apple.
Okay, 420 South Apple. Correction noted. City Secretary, go.
Okay. So the full conditional use permit packet was provided for each individual. They both, Ms. Willamaco, I'm going to start with her first. She will meet her requirements. It is a single wide, it's a very narrow mobile home. She is currently cleaning up her property right now, the property that she does want to place this on. It does have it used to be a tire shop. So there's a couple of tires that are back there that she's actively moving and getting rid of. that, she would be completely in compliance. As for Mr. Robert Maldonado, his mobile home is a double wide, it is very, very wide. He is going to require a variance. I believe he will only have about maybe 4.5 to 5 feet on either side if it is placed, and it is a corner lot. So that does present a little bit of an issue. Yes, ma'am.
Wasn't there a thing on, didn't we have a thing with mobile home where it had to be 7 feet or 8 feet from the, wasn't that from code?
That was per the recommendation from planning and zoning. So again, this is just setting the public hearing dates, it still does have to go through planning and zoning.
Okay.
That recommendation funnels through council, and you all have the final decision for that. But I did let them know that it is a very tight fit. But they did already purchase it cash, from what I understand. So they just haven't moved it yet.
And then, again, this is just to set the public hearing. You guys will get a chance to hear planning and zoning's recommendation, and we will recommend that we hear the recommendation before we take action.
Yes, sir.
Council, do you have any other questions for our city secretary? Hearing none, see, I don't have a first and second, I'm going to go ahead and ask.
Barbaza and then
Yeah,
Garza.
yeah, that's correct. We have a motion and a second at this point. I'm going to ask for, did you request a date?
The August regular meeting.
At the August regular meeting, we'll have our public hearing on that. So we've got a motion and a second for items 9C and 9D. No other questions? I'm going to ask for a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 9E, discuss and approve resolution number 20230702, approving a contract with Mr. D. Austin Colina and Associates for administration service regarding the TCDB grant program administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture. This is an action item. I'm going to ask for a motion. Have a motion, please.
Motion.
A motion by Councilman Trino, a second by Councilwoman Garza. With that, I'm going to turn the floor over to our city manager.
Mayor and council, this is actually a good thing that happened a few months back with the award of a grant by CDBG Community Development Block Grant for Bar Street out of our wastewater treatment plant. And so Carlos Colina Valles is here to request, we're requesting the approval of the administration service contract. You can see in your packet, beginning on page 47, is the contract in its entirety. The project goes through a series of steps, but right now we are to the point where we've hired an engineer. The council approved that. Mr. Vargas is requesting an amendment to the contract that we approved some months back. And so again, I think his fees and things of that sort are in. If you have any questions related to the project, now's the time to ask Mr. Vargas is here with us. So that's all I have. Those would you like?
Welcome.
My name is Carlos Colina Vargas. I'm here representing the firm of Austin Colina and Associates. For your consideration of the contract for administration of your 2022 Community Development Grant for the improvements of the sewer plant. It's a small project consisting of bar screen and appurtenances to the sewer plant. It has taken a long time in the process of the application and approval. The city selected Austin Colina and Associates to prepare the application and to manage the project it funded almost 3 years ago. Application was approved for 2021, and then after another year, they approved in 2022. So that's where we are right now, for you to approve and authorize this contract. And this, like Mr. Reyes mentioned, is an amendment to the original contract that went with the application. This application will take, or will carry a contingent contract that if they're approved, they go through. In this case, the grant was modified because the city had already invested a little over $100,000, and the grant was reduced to 237,000 instead of 350,000. So that's what all the fees and all the budget had to be revised and reduced accordingly. So that's what we have today, here for the consideration and approval of the contract for services. It was also mentioned that the engineer's contract was already approved, but it was the same case. It had to be revised because the fees had to be reduced because the project was reduced. But the selection of the engineer and the selection of administrator were done almost 3 years ago.
City manager, you have any comments?
Carlos, on our contribution as far as our match, is it 70% of the project cost?
It's 70,000.
Okay, so, I mean, excuse me, not 20% of the project cost?
No,
It's
more.
a $70,000
Yes,
match.
yeah.
Okay, so it'll be a $70,000, contribution from the city for this project. So I just wanted to- maybe I misunderstood, I thought it was 20% of the project cost, but nonetheless, that'll be our, which is, for us, it's a good thing, because we don't have to pay full price for a bar screen, which is needed out at the wastewater treatment plant. That's been a project that I think Hector has requested for, I don't know how long, it's been a while. 10 years. 10 years, 10 years, so we're,
So just doing the math real quick, this is about a $300,000 project. We're getting a grant for 237, out of pocket is 70.
I think it's 230,000 there, so it's not.
230.
Yeah, 230, so we're getting it for about 160,000
Okay.
is being paid by this.
Okay, out of that, out of this. And then we pay in addition to, or do we pay that?
Funding total is the $237,000.
And that includes his fee.
Right.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions?
So what was the total that we're gonna do?
So the total will be 237,000
For the city, that the city's gonna pay?
for the bar street.
Grant, yes.
Is that correct?
Grant, so.
The grants will be 237,000.
137
Oh,
Okay.
plus 70,000
Plus
is
70.
it 70?
plus,
Okay, so that,
Understood that.
okay, so that does take it to about 300,000.
yes.
And that covers the total cost. Hector, we're good, more or less. Yes, Councilwoman.
Mayor, so,
Asking.
I want to clarify this. So it's 237 plus the 70,000, right?
Correct.
So what's our part? Is that our part?
70,000, and the fee is part of the 70,
It's part of there, it's part of that,
Part of the
237?
budget, part of
part of the whole $300,000
Okay.
budget. So it's all, total and all. And the reason it changed, there were some things that we did, the scope of the project had changed, council. And I don't know if Carlos mentioned that I was out there, but the scope of the project had changed. We were required by TCEQ to do a portion of the project, but it wasn't an ask, it was, we had to do it. So that's why the scope of the project, we did it. So that's why you see a decrease in scope, and which is a decrease in the fee.
Well, and the decrease in the grant too, the grant was 350 originally, and then went down to 237.
Right, and that was all part of the work that we did. Well, a good part of it was, I don't remember how much we spent out there to comply with TCEQ and their request, but it was part of the project. The clarifier, I believe that was part of that.
Right,
You want to add to that, how much did we spend out there?
95K.
$95,000 that we spent on clarifier. Anyway, that's what we got.
So the bottom line is we're getting a bar screen for 70,000. It costs about 300. With that, and this is an adjustment downward of his fee and what we're coming in, so his fee is gonna be about 21,000, which is part of the total cost of 307. Any other questions? All right, I'm gonna call, we've got a motion and a second. Is that correct, City Secretary? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay, with that, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Gerard, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Moving on to item 9F, discuss and consider authorizing the city manager to negotiate, enter into, and execute an agreement with FSG Signs through the buyback board purchasing cooperative for the construction and placement of a sign at our civic center. It's been on the docket for a while. This is an action item. I'm gonna call for a motion in a second. We have a motion by Councilwoman Hernandez. We have a second by Councilwoman Agarza. With that, I'm gonna turn the floor over to our city manager.
Mayor and Council, on page 59, we have an updated quote for this, but this particular purchase will be through a by-board purchasing cooperative. And so the request for tonight is to move forward with this project. I know that you see, if you look at page 59, it references ballpark. I thought I was a little confused with that. It is not for the ballpark. This is signage that we're putting up out at the Civic Center. If you look at page, so I believe, this is off, so I would say 61. 61, I think it's cut off. You'll see a rendering, give or take, of how this is gonna look. The Civic Center, I think council has to get back, is gonna be named after the, I think, former teacher here, retired teacher, Mr. Straight. So it's John Byron Straight Civic Center. And so what we did is we try to incorporate, my understanding was he was pretty, a devout Christian from what I gathered. And he was also I think he was in the military. I don't know if he was retired, but he was in the military. So we're proposing to do something similar to that. So this does not include what I'm calling is the memorial garden. This is just the signage. So we went out for bid on this. We put this out for bid about 2-3 months ago. Didn't get any bids, which forced us to go to a purchasing cooperative to make a purchase. So we're asking for the approval of this item for the $50,952, and I'm asking for a 10% contingency for this as well.
Council, do you have any questions for our city manager?
I have a question for council.
Fire away, sir.
On the sign itself, is there any legalities as far as expressing as far as religious on wording on it? Is there?
I actually noticed that when I looked at the packet today, and the best answer I can give you is I need to look at that and answer that very carefully, but not this evening, but I'll be happy to provide that tonight. Because I thought the same thing when I saw it.
I guess the same thing could be asked, I know it's a little sensitive, but the same thing could be, we do pray
Before.
meetings, and so I don't know, again, I know that that's
Yes.
part of what we do.
I have a question. Who chose that?
It was the family.
Okay, okay.
I can't, no, please, I'm not that creative, actually, Hector helped with this. Hector helped out with the flowers and all this little arrangement out here, but it's, I thought it was pretty creative, but it is something that we'd like to move forward with. It's been a long time coming, I think it's been 5 years, and so we're asking for the approval, and
Sorry. How long did we open up the bids for this?
legally, I think we had them open, we're required to have them open at least for 2 weeks. I wanna say we have that open for, anybody remember? At least I think a month.
2 weeks to a month, yes, sir.
We left it open a while, and so we normally have a company that's completed, that does pretty good work, that's worked with us in the past. They actually did it 2 times here. They didn't put in for a bid, for the bid, we made them aware, and others, so we're asking for the approval. We've never, to my knowledge, I don't think we've ever used this group, that we're proposing, but we do need to get the sign up.
We have a question in the audience. Is she allowed to?
I just wanted to ask if we could see a picture of it.
Crystal, see the picture of it?
Right, but I do have a question while she's pulling it up. So since it's like, is that county also? Could they go, did you ask if they wanted to go half of us on
Well,
that?
this is all paid through hotel tax, and you have a pretty good fund balance there.
Yeah, that's something
So we, Crystal, turn off the TV, Jessica, if you'd like the way that looks.
I don't want anyone to see my password, sorry.
We'll get it up on screen in a minute. It's a nice sign, and I know we have, there's a couple other signs that we have to work on. This is just one of them. We have, of course, our sign, if you ever paid attention to the sign across the street, still reads City Hall, which drives me crazy, but
I know.
we're also gonna fix that. That's also part of this quote, but we're gonna do that as a, I think with that, we're seeking to see some bids. I think anything over $25,000 will come to the council for approval. So anyway, that's why we're coming here tonight for this particular sign. But we are gonna get that fixed up, and then we have another sign that in the near future that we'll be requesting from the council. But we have a lot of projects. This is just one many. I was able to speak to, this gentleman that helped us, I guess, get permission to get the name up. His name is Ty Snowden, and I think he's from Katoona.